Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're taking on one of the most consistently misunderstood choices in the beauty space right now, lash lifts versus lash extensions. Both of these treatments promise that ultimate dream of just waking up looking instantly polished and put together. But as we're going to see, they deliver entirely different realities.
Okay, let's dive into this because there's this moment I think most of us reach. You're standing in front of the bathroom mirror, it's 6:45 in the morning, you've got that mascara wand in hand, and you're just wondering, is any of this daily smudging and clumping actually worth it? It's a completely universal dread, right?
And honestly, that morning dread is exactly why millions of Americans in 2026 are officially trading in their mascara wands for two very different salon solutions. We're talking lash lifts and lash extensions. But figuring out which one actually fits your lifestyle without wasting your time or your hard-earned cash, well, that's where things usually get a little confusing. So here's our roadmap for today. First, the mascara alternative. Second, chemical lift versus fiber addition. Third, longevity and true maintenance. Fourth, calculating the annual cost. And finally, number 5, the ultimate lifestyle test. Starting with section 1, the mascara alternative. Let's look at the foundational promises of both treatments. The absolute truth is, both a lash lift and lash extensions completely deliver those glorious mascara-free mornings. But they deliver them to fundamentally different women. The choice you make between them shouldn't just be driven by, whatever happens to be trending on your social feed this week. It really needs to be based on your individual biology and your specific day-to-day habits. Moving right along to section 2, chemical lift versus fiber addition. Let's get into the actual science here. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast in the physical processes. A lash lift is basically a semi-permanent chemical treatment. A solution temporarily breaks down the internal structure of your natural lash, reshapes it over this tiny silicone rod to curl it upward, and then rebonds it. Absolutely nothing new is added to your eye. Extensions, on the other hand, that involves the meticulous physical application of synthetic, silk, or mink fibers. They're literally glued to each individual natural lash, about a millimeter from your eyelid, using a semi-permanent adhesive. What this means practically is that a lift, which takes about 45 to 60 minutes, simply enhances what you already have. The visual impact is completely dependent on your natural lash length. Now, extensions take much longer. A full set is going to run you about an hour and a half to 2.5 hours in the chair, but they can completely transform your look with massive density and length. Well, provided your natural lashes are strong and healthy enough to bear the weight of those attached fibers, of course. All right, on to section 3, longevity and true maintenance. Let's set some real-world expectations. Take a look at the completely hands-off life cycle of a lash lift. A lift typically lasts 6 to 8 weeks, and the true beauty of this is that there are absolutely 0 fill appointments required during that entire window. None. The curl doesn't degrade unevenly or start looking terribly patchy. It simply softens, very gradually, as your natural lashes grow out and shed as part of their normal 60 to 90-day biological cycle. Once it softens, you just go back in and get the whole thing completely refreshed. Now, extensions follow a completely different timeline, because they are glued directly to your individual natural lashes. When your natural lash sheds, which it naturally does, the extension goes right along with it. So by week 2 or 3, a full set will actually begin to noticeably thin out. And it's really vital to know this isn't a product failure, it's literally just biology. But to prevent that uneven patchiness, you're required to go back to the salon for a fill appointment every 2 to 3 weeks, constantly. And this brilliantly illustrates a massive divide in aftercare. Both treatments do require you to avoid water, steam, and heat for the first 24 to 48 hours. But regarding ongoing maintenance, the lash lift requires basically none. You can even wear mascara over it if you really want to. Extensions, however, require a total lifestyle shift. You have to use oil-free skincare so you don't accidentally dissolve the glue. You have to brush them daily with a little spoolie. And you literally have to learn to sleep on your back so your pillowcase doesn't rip them out while you're dreaming. Which brings us to section 4, calculating the annual cost. We really need to look at the true 12-month financial commitment here. So $450 to $1,200, this number right here is the annual cost for maintaining a lash lift and tint year-round in 2026. Because you only need to go into the salon roughly 6 to 8 times a year, the total investment shakes out to somewhere between $450 and $1,200, depending on your local market and the tier of salon you choose. And boom, here is the annual figure for lash extensions. This accounts for your initial full set, plus all those bi-weekly fills you absolutely need to maintain the look for 12 straight months. You're looking at a minimum of $1,500 to upwards of $3,000, or significantly more if you're in a premium market. Seeing these annual numbers side by side really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Extensions cost significantly more money over the course of a year. But it's important to impartially remember that many women willingly and happily pay this premium. Why? Because extensions offer an unmatched, highly customizable, dramatic volume that a natural lift simply cannot replicate.
So the crucial point is that you aren't just comparing the price tags of the service itself. Extensions demand not just more money, but a huge investment of your personal time. We're talking roughly 20 to 25 hours a year just sitting in a salon chair for those bi-weekly fills. And that's along with the hidden costs of totally overhauling your routine with specialized cleansers and brand new oil-free skincare products.
Let's head into our final section, Section 5, the ultimate lifestyle test. Which treatment actually fits your life?
I want to share this highly relatable quote straight from our source material. The author noted, "I realized I had changed my face wash, my eye cream, my pillowcase, and my sleeping position for a beauty treatment." Wow, that really grounds the strict extension aftercare data we just looked at in a real human experience. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing if the aesthetic result is worth it to you, but it is an honest reality check you definitely need before you book.
Based on that, let's rapid fire who actually benefits most from a lash lift. Lifts are absolutely ideal for active women and swimmers because after that first 24 hours, they hold up flawlessly against heavy sweat and chlorine. They're also great for allergy-prone skin, for women with time-poor, unpredictable schedules who just cannot commit to bi-weekly salon visits, and for women who are actively transitioning away from extensions and trying to give their natural lashes a much-needed health break. In strict contrast, lash extensions are tailor-made for those who prioritize a glamorous, customized look over a low-maintenance routine. They are ideal if you desire sustained, dramatic volume, if you are genuinely willing to commit the time and money to those bi-weekly fills, and, crucially, if your natural lashes are currently strong enough to bear the weight. They're also for sure the absolute best option if your natural lashes are very short and you're looking for a total transformation that a simple lift just can't achieve. We also need to briefly touch on the allergy risk. We're just neutrally reporting the biological reality here. Extension adhesive relies on cyanoacrylate, which is actually a chemical in the nail glue family. It's a known allergen for some individuals, and it can cause redness or irritation. Because of this, requesting a patch test is a standard professional safety measure before you commit to getting a full set of extensions applied. Let's move to and see how this builds a really empowering perspective. Because you know what? This isn't a permanent life choice. It's a seasonal lifestyle fit. Women are constantly shifting between these two treatments as their lives, their budgets, and their natural lash health change. You aren't locked into one identity forever. So, keeping all the chemical science, the real costs, and those daily maintenance routines in mind, I want to leave you with this final thought. Which treatment actually fits your life right now? Hopefully, you're leaving this explainer feeling informed, empowered, and totally ready to confidently book your next appointment based on your actual everyday reality. Thanks for hanging out and learning with me today.